is a finally Friday. Good morning, folks. Let's get rolling. The weekend is here. 601-485-9191. This is Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're making us a part. Wow, December the 1st, 2023. Yes, shopping days are dwindling down, 24 and counting. So glad you're with us here on the radio, 102.1 FM on your dial, of course, on online, WALTmeridian.com, of course, Facebook Live as well, WALT Talk Radio, YouTube, and even X this morning as well. Lots of ways to stay connected to the show. And, of course, the best way is, you could be a part of the show at 485-9191. Rob, pushing the buttons again this morning. And joining me all the way from the northern part of the state, he knows more about Ronald Reagan than I'll ever know. Smart fella. And he's got breakfast over there, too. He's got some Jesus shack chicken, as I like to call it. We got Toby Bates on the show.
Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
This show is 2 hours, right? We go to 9 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
That's exactly how much time I have left on my community service.
Bingo!
And I am so glad you asked me to be on the air this morning. I've missed you.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife has wondered why I've called out your name sometimes.
Whoa.
We'll talk about that later. It should be obvious if you've seen Rob.
Hello, dear.
But I'm glad you asked me to be on this morning because I need your help in solving a quick mystery really quick.
All right, real quick. All right, what you got?
A couple of days ago, I've lost 15 pounds since I've seen you.
Okay, good, good.
But I do have a broken rib and a broken left toe. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Kathy bought me this jogging suit to use while I'm in Meridian, and she wanted me to be seen, right, by the traffic.
Okay.
And so, although I think I look like a Teletubby, it's this big yellow jogging suit. And the other day, I was out jogging, and all these people were stopping and videoing me with their cell phones and yelling things like, "They've already got your two buddies, son, give it up." And some old lady in a rusted-out Oldsmobile pulled up and said, "You got to get right with Jesus." And look, folks, I know I'm a little out of shape, but, invoking the Lord about my weight, why were they doing that?
I was going to say follow the bird.
Follow the bird.
It's Big Bird.
Well, yeah, I look like a big skittle bouncing down the road. But why were people filming the other day and saying, "You're in yellow, you're one of them"? Who's them? Is it
some new gang in town? Who knows?
Okay. All right. Well, I stopped because, I had my Meridian hip partners. When you jog in Meridian, you carry two things on your hip: cell phone, pistol.
Right. And then some.
That's right. And I have a concealed carry permit.
Yes.
So I got on the only place for news, which is 102.1 WALT, and I saw something about some escaped convicts.
Yeah.
Were they wearing yellow?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where it came from.
So that explains the religious Aunt B yelling at me to get right with Jesus.
Boy, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, she made me feel guilty.
Yeah.
And I'm a pastor, and she made me feel guilty.
Well, and the thing about it is, whenever they gave the description of the suspect, that's all they really gave out was he was wearing a Department of Corrections yellow jumpsuit.
Oh.
So that's really, and that's all they gave us.
Okay.
So,
because the first person filming me was a fairly young lady, attractive. God had spent a little extra time on her. I thought, hey, yeah, she knows, I'm two-legged string. I'm 54. She's feeling sorry for me, right? But then other people, and they, like I said, they were yelling at me. They got your buddies. Give it up. Not worth it, kind of thing like that.
They got your buddies.
Yeah. And so, okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Yeah, at least you had a pistol on you. So
That's right.
16 minutes into the 7 o'clock hour, folks. 485-9191 is our number. Got a lot of ground to cover this morning here on this fun Friday. Of course, the weather this morning, do be very careful out there heading off to work. School buses are rolling with some wet roads, and we still got some nasty weather to the south of us. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that's still in effect for Jones County, so south of our listening area right now, but nothing in our immediate area here in the Twin States, but we'll keep a close eye on it. And I know a lot of people are wondering what is going to be done about a lot of these Christmas events coming up tomorrow. I know there's a lot of outdoor events planned. Right now, as far as the Christmas parade is concerned, the city of Meridian will make a decision on that at noon today. So I would love to give you some more info about it, but that's all we know at this point. When we know, we'll post it out there on social media. But they're kind of forecasting weather in Mississippi is very hard.
Right.
It's difficult, so you just don't know what to expect. So
Yeah, and it's not easy, and we tease people on this show because we enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
We're the same kind of kids that kicked fire ant beds when we were
Yeah,
youngins.
it's America's favorite pastime.
Right, but when you have something scheduled for a particular time and you're trying to figure out the event, their decisions not only based on what's going on at the event, but it's when you're driving to it,
Sure.
and when you're driving home from it.
Right.
And so we won't really know anything until about noon today.
Yeah, and if you are going to the parade,
That's right.
no, I'm just kidding.
He's terrible for saying that.
That's right.
All right, so once we know, we'll obviously let you know, and of course, we'll be talking more about that as the morning kind of progresses here. All right, well, but real quick, let's thank our friends up in Philadelphia this morning as we get the show kicked off. You know, it would make a great Christmas gift. You would be a hero to somebody, and that is a brand new Toyota with that big red bow under the carport on Christmas morning, and you can get one at Doc's Toyota.
Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. And folks, you see the commercials and you're like, I would love to do that for a loved one. And you're thinking interest rates are where they are, and I don't really know what they need and all this other. The thing about Doc's is locally owned and operated, so they're not kind of tied into that national chain, of affiliates, franchises, if you will. And Doc's can work with you.
Absolutely.
And the people who've made the short drive up to Highway 16 West in Philadelphia, it's 15120, 15120, or just type in Doc's Toyota into your GPS, and that little magical elf that lives in your cell phone will tell you exactly where it is. The thing about Doc's is when you go up there and walk around, they don't hound you. They don't follow you around the lot, trying to push the latest and the biggest. They're like, tell me your driving habits. Who are you buying for?
Yep.
How many miles do you do a day? Or is it more city? Is it more highway? And they've got some amazing, not only for maintenance requirements, but for gas, and for wear and tear on tires. They can talk to you about your driving needs and help you find the vehicle that's just perfect for you.
Bingo.
Whether new or pre-owned, guys, that's Doc's Toyota. If you don't believe me, you can give them a call. And the great thing is, you could go see them on Saturday, because quite often some of these car lots they're closed.
That's right.
It's It's like Joe Biden trying to do a math problem. They're not to be found on Saturday, right?
He did count down last night during the tree lighting.
From where to where, though?
3.
That's right.
2.
That's right. Which his wife does when she's feeding him oatmeal or rice pudding. And did that tree fall down the other day?
It did.
Meanwhile, back at Doc's, right? 601-600-3786. That's 601-600-3786. Let Doc's make you feel better by putting you in the car you need today. And that's Doc's Toyota.
We had talked about this. I wouldn't say it's an event, more of a debate, I guess you would say, the red state, blue state debate that happened last night on Sean Hannity. And, of course, there was a lot of buildup into this. And I hate that I did not see it live last night. I was over at Madison last night calling a ball game, MAIS All-Star game. And I did catch a lot of the highlights. But if you didn't see any of it last night, all you really have to do is basically watch maybe the first 10 minutes, and you felt like, well, this is pretty much checkmate, you would think. But I thought, I watched some more highlights of it and used some. He's slick, man. He is slick, and he's a very likable guy.
He is.
So, but I do have a bit of the debate here, and this is the first part of it, and this was literally maybe the first 10 minutes. Of course, Sean Hannity, I thought, did a great job moderating it. When you have two guys like that, egomaniacs, I would say. Sure. I mean, they really are. You got one guy who's running for president right now who's still 40 points behind, and Newsom, who might as well go ahead and throw his hat in the ring. He says he's not, but if anything happens to Biden, he's going to be option one. Please no Kamala. And they started comparing a lot of different issues last night, and one of those ended up being, why are people moving from California to Florida in droves? Well, Toby, you know as well as I do, that's a pretty easy answer.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of different parts of it.
Yes.
Let's see, the cost of living, gas prices,
unemployment,
crime. So, but last night, Sean Hannity laid this out for us. It's a few minutes clip here, but this is courtesy of Fox News, and from some of the debate last night. In case you missed it, here's I guess you'd say a little bit of a highlight, and yeah, DeSantis did pretty well right here, especially at the end.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes.
As we speak, there is a phenomenon. It is playing out across the entire country. Americans, they are leaving blue states in droves in favor of red states. You can see numbers on the screen right now from the years 2021 and 2022. These particular numbers are stark in the state that you lead. In the case of you, Governor Newsom, according to the U.S. Census, this is where the numbers come. In 2021-22, California's lost 750,000 residents to other states. Governor DeSantis, during that same 2-year period, you gained 454,000 residents from other states. So, Governor DeSantis, we had a coin toss. I was not part of it. I missed it. But apparently, Governor Newsom, you won the coin toss. And you chose to let Governor DeSantis have the first question. You will get the last word tonight. So I begin with you. You know, for Governor Newsom, I will ask, you know, what your response is on this as well. What do you, it's a simple question. How do you explain this phenomenon? Governor, what's going on?
When I was in the Navy, I got orders to go to Naval Amphibious Base Coronado in Southern California. And I was a lifelong Floridian, but I went there and I was like, man, this is one of the most beautiful places on earth. And I think California has more natural advantages than any state in the country. You almost have to try to mess California up. And yeah, that's what Gavin Newsom has done since he's been governor. He's the first governor to ever lose population. They actually, at one point, ran out of U-Hauls in the state of California because so many people were leaving. Of course, he's imposed restrictions on his own people while exempting himself from those restrictions and going to the French Laundry while his people were suffering. He led the country in school closures, locking kids out of school while he had his own kids in private school in person. Now, he's very good at spinning these tales. He's good at being slick and slippery. He'll tell a blizzard of lies to be able to try to mask the failures. But the reality is they have failed because of his leftist ideology. And the choice for America is this. What Biden and Harris and Newsom want to do is take the California model and do that nationally. In Florida, we showed that conservative principles work. This country must choose freedom over failure.
Governor Newsom, your reaction.
Well, it's good to be with you, Sean. It's nice also to see you in a tie as well tonight. Good to be with you, Ron. And I
dressed up for the occasion, Governor.
No, I'm impressed and I'm grateful. Look, it's an important occasion. This is an important conversation, and I think it's important to the folks watching. They're probably wondering, what are we actually doing here? And I want to answer that very directly. I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here to tell the truth about the Biden-Harris record and also compare and contrast Ron DeSantis' record and the Republican Party's record as a point of contrast that's as different as daylight and darkness. You want to bring us back to a pre-1960s world, America in reverse. You want to roll back hard-earned national rights on voting rights, on civil rights, on LGBTQ rights, on women's rights, not just access to abortion, but also access to contraception. You want to weaponize grievance. You are focusing on false separateness. You in particular, Ron, are on a banning binge, a cultural purge, intimidating and humiliating people you disagree with. You and President Trump are really trying to light democracy on fire. So, Sean, there are profound differences tonight, and I look forward to engaging them. But there's one thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
Governor, great opening statement, but it did not address the issue. Can you explain this migration out of California and going to red state, blue state?
Well, hold on. You mean the last 2 years, more Floridians going to California than Californians going to Florida?
No, I put up on the
by the way, that's going to be fun to fact check. So we'll just start right there. California has no peers. California dominates, size of 21 state populations combined. It's the 5th largest economy in the world. We dominate, #1 manufacturing state. We dominate in two-way trade and research and development, access to innovation, more scientists, more researchers, more engineers, more Nobel laureates in the state of California than any other state in the nation, the finest system of higher education. It's the birthplace of life science and biotech and nanotechnology. We dominate in green tech. We dominate in high tech. We dominate in artificial intelligence. So with respect, I think it's an interesting campaign strategy for Ron DeSantis to be bashing a state of 40 million Americans when California simply has no peers.
Well, that's a pretty slick way of not answering your question. He went on a binge of putting out a lot of left-wing platitudes. Here's what I would say. I talked to a lot of the people that have moved from California to Florida, and we never used to get people from California to Florida or really anywhere in these, because why would you leave California? It's got the best weather, great natural forces. Excuse me, sir. But one of the things that I did, I was talking to a gentleman, a couple.
Guys, I'm going to let the debate breathe. but it's his turn. Let's take turns.
So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California to Florida, and he was telling me that Florida is much better governed, safer, better budget, lower taxes, all this stuff. And he's really happy with the quality of life. And then he paused and he said, by the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law. So we do count Gavin's in-laws as some of the people that have fled California and come to the state of Florida. And
Was that a political way of saying your mama?
That's what it sounded like.
Wow.
But it kills me. That's the opening of this whole thing.
Yes.
A simple question was asked. The facts were put up on the screen of the people that have fled the state of California going to Florida. And you heard the number. Sean Hannity gave the facts. The facts, the hard data.
The data, that's right.
And not once but twice did not answer the question.
Yeah, I thought Newsom, I have to brag on him a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you're going to like this. You're thinking, typical liberal professor, right?
Yeah.
Have to wear an IV bag because my heart bleeds so much. But
My heart bleeds.
Newsom went 11 seconds without bringing up ID politics. I was really proud of him. He went 11 seconds.
You're right about that.
Without talking about some group and trying to divide us. I also felt weird because California has a lot of coastline. Fishing's a big industry. He kept saying we have no piers. So I guess you don't fish deep anymore.
I guess not.
Have to fish from the beach, I guess. But no, and if you notice, Gavin's voice sounds really gravelly because he's trying to choke this stuff down. And why I've heard a lot of people this morning say, in fact, when we got here this morning at 3:30 for our amazing show prep that we do, we get here so early in the morning. People were saying, "Who cares? It's these two individuals." It's like the governor said, they're not going to be the nominees.
No, I believe that too. I don't think either one of them will.
Sure. But you and I both know that they're more so than maybe any other election in the last 30 years. There's a chance that the two leading folks right now may not be.
Right.
May not be. These may be the two individuals.
Well, and my biggest thing about this, it's not necessarily the presidential part of this for me. For me, it's a contrast between two different ideologies.
Yes.
I mean, it's so much different. That's one thing I will agree on with Governor Newsom, not the way he phrased it, but it is daylight and darkness as far as these two are concerned. Not saying who's right, who's wrong. I'm just saying the policies are completely different. But, hey, man, just give a simple answer why people are leaving California. It's the slick old politician, and dip, dodge, and duck the question.
And some of the people that are leaving are people that identify as being very, not left-wing, but certainly not conservative, like a Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He went from California to Texas. He said, I simply can't exist there anymore.
Yeah.
With the taxes and things like that. Plus, when you think of California, you used to think of Disneyland and Hollywood and Los Angeles. Now it's poop in the streets.
Yeah, it really is.
The only time I want to worry about poop in the streets is after the Meridian Christmas parade and we've had the Clydesdale.
Exactly.
Right?
We'll talk more about the debate from last night, but yeah, I just thought the opening of that was pretty eye-opening, to be honest with you. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to some motorcycle riders. Bikers United for Children's Toy Ride. We'll talk about that next. right, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian, 7:35 this morning. Hope everybody's doing good on this finally Friday, and Toby's still trying to wrap his mind around it is December 1.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
December 1, I tell you. 601-485-9191. Phone lines are always open here. The two best hours of local live talk. Also is brought to you by, well, if you want to get yourself a good, delicious meal this morning, get your day started off right, stop off at exit 150, the Magnolia Restaurant there at the Queen City Truck Stop, because today is Friday, and that means one thing.
Yes.
It's a Fish Friday.
It is a Fish Friday. And, folks, we're talking about meat. You know, meat. We are meant to eat meat.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I think I've mentioned on the air before, when I got married 32 years ago, I told my wife, I said, I want something on my plate. If it's your night to cook, because we take turns, because I'm a good husband. There's a camera right there I have to talk to.
He said lie first.
That's right. So I said, you know, if it's your night to cook, I want something on my plate that felt fear before it died. I want something that fought for its life.
I don't want a salad.
I want meat, right? And the great thing about the Queen City Truck Stop and the Magnolia Restaurant is the fact that when you get meat, you get meat.
Absolutely.
It's not this over-fried nonsense. And, folks, this right here, if your breakfast right now, if you're hearing me and your breakfast sounds like this, see, that's not bacon frying.
No.
Right? That's not Joe Biden getting up out of a chair, okay? That is a plastic wrapper with an expiration date on it. What kind of breakfast has an expiration date? So go by the Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop, right here in Meridian, exit 150. I don't care if it's a few miles away. You go by there, you're going to see somebody you know, right? You're going to see Ron from Ron's Pool Service. He's going to take great care of you.
Yeah.
You're going to see people that you know and happy to see. Fresh food. And like you said, lunch today, which cranks off at 10:30 a.m., is, again, you've got the cash fillet chicken, you know, and veggies, and they're fresh. It's like when you open up when you were a kid and you open up the fresh box of crayons and all those vibrant colors, and you hated the rich kid because he had the 48 with a sharpener in the back. Remember that?
Right.
And you had the 8, all right? But the vegetables look like that. Don't take my word for it. Your body will thank you. Your colon will thank you. Your friends will thank you. Exit 150, all right? Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop.
And yes, by the way, banana pudding is a vegetable on the menu.
It is. It's so good, too.
I'm just saying, you know,
You're right.
bottom line.
You're right.
All right, coming up tomorrow, this is one of our favorite events here at Mornings in Meridian. That is the Bikers United for Children Toy Run. And this is hard to believe, 13th annual is going to be rolling out tomorrow. We've got Jesse and DK in with us this morning. Guys, good to see you again. Get into those mics and tell everybody good morning.
Good morning.
All right, guys, good deal. Well, it's here. 13th annual toy run is tomorrow morning.
It's tomorrow morning, yes, sir. We'll be starting out at the Hampton Inn. Be parking the bikes around back. We'll have a small breakfast for everybody there. And then we're going to take a short ride through town and go to College Park United Methodist Church, where they always feed us. Man, every year, if you leave out there hungry, it's your own fault.
I was going to say, you get fed pretty well down there.
That's right. And all it's going to cost you is a new unwrapped toy. That's it.
Beautiful.
And we also take voluntary donations. We are a nonprofit organization. Everything we do goes to the Wesley House. And it's, like I said, 13th year. It's awesome. We appreciate everybody that's been involved. I have a lot of people call me up, hey, when you going to have a toy run? And they'll be calling me like in March.
Right.
And so it's a great deal. Everybody's looking forward to this. And just come on down. Like I said, don't let that little bit of rain they're talking about scare you away. We're still going to be there.
That's right.
We're going to have an enclosed trailer, put the toys in so they won't get wet. And we're still going to be there. Like I said, don't let the rain scare you. It's going to taper off as the morning comes along.
That's right.
Registration starts at 10, kickstands up at 1.
At the Hampton Inn.
At the Hampton Inn. And y'all come on down.
And folks, when you go over here toward the Hampton Inn, you will see there is signage over there, too, kind of let you know that's where you guys are going to be at tomorrow morning.
Yes.
So folks can get there early. And if folks cannot make the ride, they can drop off their donations.
Absolutely. They can just run by, drop it off to us, and we'll take care of it from there. We'll have Quality Paint and Body is going to have his wrecker out there, and we got a sleigh like every year that we have.
Love it.
It's going to be on the wrecker, and so you'll see us sitting out front, and you can't miss all the bikes that's going to be out there. And I mean, you could even ride in the car, but you're just going to be behind the bikes on the way to the church if that's what you want to do. So come on down, please. Like I said, everything goes to the kids. Wesley House.
Guys, what's going to be the route tomorrow? I know a lot of folks maybe like to line the streets a little bit and kind of support you guys as you ride. Where's the route going to be at tomorrow?
Go ahead.
All right, we're going to leave out.
Jesse's like, DK's the man.
We're going to leave out of Hampton Inn at 1 o'clock with a police escort. We're going to go up 19 north, headed towards was that Bowers Auto Mart?
Yeah, right that
We're
area.
going to take a left there on Front Street.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a right on 14th Street, go up there by the hospitals. And then we're going to turn left on 23rd, come down towards 8th Street, right beside the TV station, take a right on 8th Street, and we're going to follow 8th Street all the way to College Park United Methodist Church.
And that's where y'all going to get fed some more.
That's exactly right. And we're going to have all kind of door prizes and raffle prizes and auction items. We have some really cool auction items that's been donated to us.
Good deal.
And so, like I said, monetary value helps also because it kind of fills in the gaps where he doesn't get the toys for certain age groups and stuff like that. So anything like that is greatly appreciated.
So 13th annual, what was the idea behind this? You guys have been rolling. Of course, Wesley House is a fantastic organization here locally to help out children. But how did this idea kind of get kicked about here?
Well, it's kicked about with some friends of ours. It was Bob Anderson, Steve Anderson, and Paco. Started this in 13 years ago. The very first year I was in Iraq, so I missed it. And
I always tell you, appreciate your service.
yeah, thank you. And so when I come back, we lost those founding members. So we just kind of picked up the ball and took off and run with it. So it's something that's near and dear to our heart, and we're doing it just like they set it up.
Fantastic. So this is going to be great.
Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned if you want to follow in a car because, you know, the bike community is a tight-knit community, right? And I love the fact you hear police escort. It's always, as someone who rides, it's always nice to have the police in front as opposed to behind.
Right.
Right? But they're just jealous of us because they're in a four-wheeler, right? but one thing I know you also are inviting folks to do is if they've had a biker in their family who's passed on, you know, a lot of people will go to these types of things and in their cars follow the bikers as a way of honor the memory.
That's correct.
You
Yes.
know, of
It's
that
good thought.
biker. And the other thing we've been asked before about this is, and it's extraordinary. You know, Scripture tells us that generally those who have less give more.
Yeah.
And we've had people actually contact us and say, "I'd love to donate a toy, but I can't do any more than this or this." And we're like, anything is appreciated. Right?
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
and so don't feel like if you can only buy one stuffed animal or something like that it's not worth coming down. It most certainly is.
Oh, it absolutely is. You know, there's no way we can cover every child. Just the demand is just so high, and so anything will help. I mean, anything from a little doll to just a bicycle, anything in between. You know, basketballs, footballs. You know, just something to brighten the child's morning that morning.
And the thing to also keep in mind is that the you know there are certain parents out there who spend their money on other things other than the family, but there's also a lot of families out there, a lot of moms and dads working 2 or 3 jobs.
Right.
They already feel bad enough that they can't provide the way that they feel like maybe they should, and so organizations like this really are so important and so appreciated. You know.
Very good point. I like the way you think.
As far as I know, you guys have had drop-off locations in the past. Is all of that kind of shut down? They can only bring them on site
Yeah, I
tomorrow?
always bring on site. We picked up the boxes yesterday.
Okay, good deal.
And that way, if you just bring them on site, you can either drop them off at the church. There's going to be somebody there
okay.
all morning and then all day. And if, like I said, we'll be at Hampton Inn. If you care to swing by there, we're glad to pick it up there. We got a couple of sponsors like.
Absolutely. Appreciate folks in the community
Oh,
supporting
absolutely.
this.
Like I said, we couldn't do this without the community. You know, like I've said in the past, is we're just the mouthpiece and people that organize this. If it's not for the community and the businesses, this wouldn't be near as successful. Wouldn't be successful at all. So I'd like to say thanks and mention Happy Smiles, Hill Realty Group, Wade's Automotive, Max Truck Service. And we got Specialty Haulers, B&L Winston Construction, Davison Hauling, Custom Metalworks. That's our top tier sponsors we had this year. And of course, we always had Quality Paint and Body, Hampton Inn, College Park. That always helps us. And then we got our next level is gold sponsors, with Shoe Carnival, Rock House, Living Hope Baptist Church. He's new to this ride this year. McDonald Hill always supports us. Import Tech, Burns and Burns, Mike and Angie Evans, Bonita Wine and Liquor, and then Rick's Paving.
Fantastic.
Come on board. And like I said, if it wasn't for these guys, it wouldn't be successful at all. You know, we think small businesses and big businesses, they've all helped.
Fantastic. So once again, this is going to be over at the Hampton Inn that's located at Highway 11 and 80. Like I said, you'll see the crowd out there. They've already got the signs on both sides of the road there, so you know exactly where to go there close to the Hampton Inn. And once again, the church is located right there on 19, right across the way from MSU Meridian. You can't miss it. I've always said just look for the crowd.
That's right. Yeah,
look
that's
for
right.
the crowd. So, but
We got Odie Barrett that's got a fire truck set up for us. He's going to have a flag hanging up there.
fantastic.
And then he's going to block the road for us with a fire truck so the bikers can get in there without having to try to fight the traffic. So you'll see the fire trucks, you'll see the flag, and you'll see the crowd. Like I said, you can even stop by there after the ride and just drop off a toy.
Fantastic.
So Hampton at 10 a.m. and you said kickstands up at 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then the route you've already described to us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then again, like you said, College Park, right across the street from Mississippi State.
Yeah, you can't miss them over there. Michelle Joyner wants to say hello to you guys and appreciate
Hey,
what you
Michelle.
do. She said it's an awesome event. She's watching on Facebook this morning. Appreciate what you guys do. So she's out there watching this morning. So, but
Good morning, Michelle.
and of course, the toys will all be distributed by the Wesley House because we want all the kids to have a very Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Because we talked about everybody's in the hustle and bustle, and we're 24 days away shopping time, but that's really what it's all about, being sure we take care of all the kids in the community.
And I can just remember being disappointed because maybe I didn't get as many Army men as I wanted. I got them. You remember the little green guy?
got 'em,
yeah, I didn't get as many as I wanted. I was selfish American, right?
Right.
But think about the way Christmas is set up with Santa and all of this, and the kids
Yeah.
are bombarded by this, and the kids at school are telling them, "Hey, I'm getting this. Hope to get this." And there's some kids, honestly, that wake up on Christmas morning
Yeah.
and there's nothing.
That's correct.
And then they themselves not only doubt, Christmas love and Christmas spirit and the true meaning of it, but also mom and dad's love, Santa's love. They're going to have to go confront their kids, their friends at school. Right. And the great thing about having this at College Park, United Methodist, is Walmart is just right down the road.
Right.
Very good
Lots of
point.
toys there, right? And what's 30 minutes out of your life? You're going to spend 30 minutes on your phone when you first get home from work.
Yeah.
So eat that time and go by Walmart, pick something up, and then go by the church.
That's correct.
Right.
Or if nothing else, you can just swing by and hand us $5, $10, $20 or whatever. And like I said, that goes into what we raise also, and that will go to buy more toys.
Yeah, because you guys aren't getting anything. for
Nothing.
this.
We are nonprofit.
No,
We're
no,
nonprofit. We're a 501c. And like I said, everything we do goes to Wesley House.
Man, I
Money,
love
toys,
Christians.
and all.
I love Christians.
How many bikes we expecting to be rolling tomorrow? I know it's always kind of a rough estimate.
It
just,
is.
just to go last year.
Last year, what we had?
Last year, I want to say
100. It was 113. I think we had last year. Last year,
Outstanding.
yes.
Outstanding.
That's going to be rolling through Meridian. That's going to be
man.
awesome.
And like I said, the rain, deters some people, but don't let it.
No.
We done talked to the guy upstairs. He's going to give us a break around lunchtime tomorrow.
There you go. I like it. Love it.
Outstanding. I love
it. Absolutely. Hampton Inn out on Highway 1180. That's going to be the starting point. Registration starts at 10.
10.
And kickstands go up at 1. You guys will be out there tomorrow morning. Folks want to drop off a toy there, they can do that. Or at the church
correct.
across town there at College Park United Methodist Church. You guys are going to be eating over there as well after it's over. And, of course, don't forget about you got door prizes and auction items, too.
That's
so
correct.
folks can jump in on that as well. So,
really nice
I
ones.
talked to DK and Jesse outside.
Yeah.
And I ride a Sportster. There's no giggling. If that's all you have is a Sportster, hey man,
Come on.
that's two wheels and a seat. That's a
Hey.
bike. No one's gonna,
right.
no Softail's gonna giggle at you.
I
you know?
still got my Sportster. Hey.
I still got mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my
Dang
bigger
right.
one too, but I still got mine.
Heck
I
yeah.
want to also throw out there, we also have a bronze and silver sponsors.
Yes,
You
yeah.
know, Interstate, Exxon, JCO, LLC was two of our bronze sponsors. On our silver, we had Mike Mintu, Hotel Restaurant Supply, Boharala Autoplex, Moose Riders, A's Detail Shop, Queen City Truck Stop, Dark Mark and Tammy, Lisa Hickman Realtor, Harbor Electric, Booker Electric, Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power, Discount Glass, Ducks Hideaway, Ed Cheney Tire Pros. Just a few more people that, stepped up and helping out, keeping us going.
I love it. All these locally owned
Yes,
businesses
yes.
stepping
Big
to the
and small.
If
plate.
it wasn't for them, it would be hard to do what we do.
Amen
I'd
to
say,
that.
we was with this in the beginning, and I'd say probably 80% of these folks, big and small, sponsors from day one, and they sponsor us
Fantastic.
every year.
Every year.
And I've had a few of them ask me, especially Joe at Max Truck Service. DK, when you need to check.
Right.
And Wage the same way. So they looking forward to helping us.
Well, you might remember a few summers ago there was some initials that were really big that actually Roger and Charles and Rob have been saying for years, that BLM. And can you remind me again what that?
Buy local matters.
That's right. So we've been saying that for years here, right?
Buying local matters.
That's right. So folks, if you've heard the names of these businesses, or any of the sponsors on WLT, go by and give them your business. Thank them for their support of the community and doing a little extra for things such as Bikers United for Children. These are individuals taking things out of their own time, right? And we've all got 4 or 5 things in our schedule we could be doing otherwise, right? But we're doing what we've been called to do, what we've been commanded by our Savior to do. So give these folks some business and give these folks some praise.
And, also just to put the word out there, we have our motorcycle clubs around town.
Yeah.
The Pistoleros are a big part of this.
Fantastic.
They're right there with us through our meetings, on our committee, we really appreciate everything they do. They do a lot to help with this, donating, helping get things organized, collecting stuff. And they're just as much part of Meridian as anybody is, and they really help out a lot with this event.
Outstanding. That's great.
Folks, there's no rain tomorrow. It
I
ain't
like that.
Amen to that, brother.
Ain't no rain tomorrow.
Even if it is, we gonna ride.
You know what? They still gonna go even if it is raining. So you need to get out there and be a part of this tomorrow. A Hampton Inn starts at 10 o'clock with registration. Kickstands go up later on at 1. They're going to be escorted through downtown Meridian. They will arrive at College Park United Methodist Church. And, of course, they'll have auction items and door prizes up for grabs there once they get to the church. And if you want to drop off a toy, you can drop it off there tomorrow. And this is another fantastic event, 13th annual.
13th annual.
Bikers United for Children Toy Run. Guys, you're always welcome here anytime, and we appreciate you guys stopping by to see us, and we're going to plug this away.
If we do get wet Saturday, hey, it's Saturday. Everybody's got to have a bath on Saturday.
That's right.
So bring them on down.
Bring the soap on a rope. There you go.
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break here at Mornings of Meridian. We'll be back. right, welcome back into Mornings in Meridian. We got just a few minutes left here until we jump into a Fox News break here at 8. As you good?
Sorry. Yeah, well, Jesse mentioned trucking, and I'm like, oh, trucking. My ears went up like
Your
this.
ears went up like, woo!
Yeah.
There you go.
Play a long song. I'll talk to him.
Play a long song.
That's right.
All right, I'll put Freebird in and something else, and we'll go have breakfast. Speaking of good folks in our community, we talked about a lot of good local sponsors who help a lot of folks in the community. Another one of those is Adam and Adam down at A&A Glass. Of course, they're located right there on 22nd Avenue or Sheila Ward Parkway.
Absolutely, and you know, Adam and Adam, right, named after the first guy in the Bible. Right, first guy, because we had the Lord first, of course.
Right, yeah.
And the fact is, folks, if you're riding around, and I've say this before, if you're riding around with a windshield and it's got all those cracks in it, right? If it looks like Joe Biden's legs or Nancy Pelosi's face, you've got to go see Adam Carmichael, Adam Mitchell. What's wrong with that? What? There's nothing wrong with that. It's the writers. I would never say
listening. That's the problem.
It's the writers. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm already on a list, buddy. There's a tape in Arizona already taping me.
Me too.
That's right. That's right. But folks, your windshield is built a certain way, even if it's an older car, and if it's compromised, if it's got the cracks in it and everything, it won't do what it's supposed to do during an impact. And if you have a lot of cracks, and even if a small little pebble could come up, it can still shatter it and hurt you and your loved ones. You don't want that to happen. So go down by the Children's Museum. That's where A&A Glass are right now, and because they specialize in anything you need in automotive glass repair and replacement. And if you got just a little dink, a small one, right, they can take care of that and won't even take the entire glass. Right?
That's right.
They've got that little special tool that they know how to work. I don't, right? So you can give them a call, 693-GLASS, GLLS, or 693-4527, 693-4527. They're 2 doors down from the Children's Museum. They've been doing it for 40 forevers, and the reason they do it for 40 forevers, they're good at what they do. Go by and see them. Adam Carmichael, Adam McCregan at A&A Glass.
All right, we're going to take a break for some Fox News coming up at the top of the hour, and we'll open the phone lines back up for hour 2 at 601-485-9191. You folks stay right here. welcome back in. It's Mornings in Meridian here on this kind of Friday. Kind of started out a little and it's still a little out there right now. That's the technical term for nasty. As we're 10 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour here on the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio here in Meridian, Mississippi. December 1st. Hard to believe, folks. 24 more shopping days to go here until we get to the big day. But our phone lines are open this hour on a fun Friday, too, by the way. You got Rob and Dr. Toby Bates in with you this morning. And before we press on this morning, I think they invented plumbing down at Barber & Sons Plumbing. And Gary Barber, Gayla Gartman, fantastic folks. And what do we always say? Support local. And one of my favorite lines with Barber & Sons Plumbing, if you're one of those do-it-yourselfers and you're leaking confidence, then you need to call Gary Barber because he can plug that hole in your confidence in a hurry.
In a real big hurry.
In a big hurry.
And I'll just share this with you. I've got my phone up here, and excuse me for those who are having to see the Raider emblem.
The Raiders.
But I received this. You know, we moved back into our house 2 weeks ago. Since I've seen you, we got to move back into our house.
Oh.
You know, we had the tornado in April.
Right.
We just got moved back in November.
Good life update.
Yes, and I received this yesterday from my next door neighbor. Your yard guy, I don't have a yard guy, is what that means.
Wow.
This is my neighbor yesterday. Your yard guy found a leak in your yard between our dog kennel and your driveway. Now, I received this like at 6:30 yesterday morning. He thought it might be mine, but sorry, it's yours.
Oh.
The leak's pretty bad.
Oh, no.
It's in the line that we talked about running to your flower beds. It was running a lot, so I did cut off the water at the meter. That's my next door neighbor.
Oh, bless their heart.
Giving me this wonderful news early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
But my first thought was, there's not a Barber and Sons
There's
in
not a
Tupelo.
Barber & Sons in Tupelo. Hey, Gary, can you make a road trip?
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, if anybody would, he would.
He probably would, yeah.
But he is certainly one of those businesses, folks, that I'm missing when I move back up there to be near my grandchildren. And Sheriff Solly said I had to leave the county. But you don't have to leave, and you've got them right here. And so, folks, any of your plumbing needs, or any of your plumbing needs at all, because, you know, pipes get old.
Yeah,
right?
It happens.
And cold weather and hot weather, even for pipes that are buried, can still cause problems. I learned that, yesterday.
With this, yeah.
And hats off to my wife. She got out there with the plumber yesterday with a shovel. Sent me pictures of her. She cut her finger.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Kathy.
Yeah. Oh, she'll ride that for a while. But she got out there and fixed it. I married myself a big old strong country girl, which is good. But Barber & Sons, they won't cost you any blood. Right? And in fact, they'll help you a lot. And any plumbing need, they do commercial, they do residential. And as we've said so many times before, if you have an issue going on at home and you can video it with your phone or take a picture, take it down there to Gary. He'll look at it.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll tell you really quick. Or he or Gayla will say, okay, this is what you need to do. And they'll actually show you how to do it, sell you what you need, and save you a lot of money that way. So please, don't take our word for it. And before you have a big problem, if you have a small problem with plumbing right now, it's not going to go away on its own. So take care of it right now. 601-482-7023. 482-7023. You're very lucky to have them, folks, here. So use them. Barber & Sons Plumbing.
All right, it's a fun Friday. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, appreciate you holding. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Zane!
I was hoping he'd call.
I like it. I hope he was going to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just had to call and say hello to Dr. Bates. How you doing, Toby?
I'm fine. I prepared something for you today because I was hoping you would call. You know, you've helped me understand things like where all the new grape went and things like that. I wanted to ask you, and folks, if you're not watching us on right now, I'm holding something up to the camera. Of course, remember you can stream us, right?
That's right. WALT Talk Radio on Facebook.
That's right. I'm holding up a circus peanut.
There's a circus peanut. Yep.
In front of the camera. Can you see that? I can't see my monitor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Perfectly.
Okay. I know it looks like something your uncle got removed off his
there we
shoulder.
go.
Okay, you got it? Okay. What is this? I've been eating these for like 50 years, but I've never thought about what they are. What is a circus peanut? Because you work with carnivals and fairs and things like that.
It has nothing to do with the carnival. It's just a thing where somebody put a bunch of chemicals together, and somebody said, "Hey, taste it. What does it look like?" And somebody ate it and said, "Oh, I think we can sell these."
Who was going to be the test dummy that day?
Yeah, I mean, you're telling me they developed this like we were 10. We're like, I dare you to put it in your mouth.
I dare you to eat that.
Because I mean, a circus. I mean, look at it.
Well, unless somebody wants to call in and dispute me, that's what I'm gonna say.
And then when you open it inside, it looks exactly the same as the outside. And where does it get its orange tape? I mean, I love these things, but I don't know what they are. And see, I can put it back together, and you can't even tell I tore it apart.
Yeah, that's like a little bit of red dye number 6, probably, or something like that.
Well, you know, during the COVID vaccine, people were like, I'm not putting anything in my body that I don't know what it is. I do it every Halloween with these things. And since it had circus in the name, I was hoping maybe, you might know.
Well, I'm not a circus guy. I'm sorry. That's a completely different animal.
So circus and carnival
They
are
come
two
from
very
Sarasota,
different.
and
okay.
Yep, the circus comes from Sarasota, and the carnival comes from Gibsonton.
All right,
30 miles apart.
As we go to the Wikipedia page here.
Oh, good.
Circus peanuts are American peanut-shaped marshmallow candy. They date back to the 19th century when they were one of a large variety of unwrapped penny candy sold in such retail outlets as 5 and dime stores. As of the 2010s, the most familiar variety of mass-produced circus peanuts is orange-colored and flavored with an artificial banana flavor. They are typically made from sugar, corn syrup, gelatin, pectin, soy, protein, food coloring, and artificial flavoring. So confectioners originally distributed an orange-flavored variety that was available seasonally due to a lack of packaging capable of preserving the candy. In the spring, 5 and dime sold circus peanuts as penny candy. In the 40s, circus peanuts became one of the many candies to become available year-round. Let's see... they had them in cellophane packaging at one point.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what it says here. It says, over the years, confectioners also offered circus peanuts colored yellow, pink, and white, including a variety of flavors. So, but yeah, that orange one is obviously
that's the one that came out on
That's
top.
the one. Yeah, that's the one you got right there. So,
well, I noticed
there's a little bit of background there for you.
Okay,
so.
and pectin, it's got pectin something in it?
Here's another fun fact for you.
What's
It
that?
is Fun Friday.
Yeah.
Circus peanuts led to the creation of Lucky Charms.
Ooh.
In 1964, when a General Mills employee chopped pieces into a bowl of Cheerios, the circus peanuts. So that's where Lucky Charms came from.
Oh, they're magically delicious.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go. There's your Fun Friday history
And there
lesson.
we have the new Google Poodle.
Google Poodle?
You're welcome. Button monkeys and Google poodles.
I didn't say anything about no butt monkey now. Although the shape is very strange.
And we got a button monkey cross-trained as a Google Poodle now.
Yes.
Well, I've noticed as I'm getting over, my wife and I have like candy around the house in bowls, but friends of mine my students call it old man candy. It's
the old man candy.
It's circus peanuts, and Roger calls the other orange slices. I love orange slices.
Yeah.
And Roger calls those old man candy. But I have these bowls around the house of circus peanuts and orange slices.
You don't have the little strawberry candies? Because my grandmother had it. It was like the strawberry candies with a little bit of that, it was like a hard coating or whatever, and had a little bit of that kind of jelly stuff inside.
Oh, yeah, and the wrapper was green at the
Yeah,
top.
so you bite into them and they're gooey.
Yeah, and it looked like a strawberry with wrapper. Yeah, that was one of her favorites.
I could never eat those.
Yeah.
Or remember that gum that had the mouthwash in it?
Ugh.
Yeah, it was like biting into a tick. Not that I know what that's like.
Zane's like, this conversation really took a turn.
Now you know why Toby's only on once every 3 months.
Man.
Yeah. But you doing well, Zane?
And I didn't have anything to say today. I just called and say hello and like, wow.
There we go. Well, I'm glad you did call because obviously we did want to mention too that Mrs. Santa is going to be down at the Railroad Museum tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And we'll have the train rides on the little train. We'll have Mrs. Santa down there, have the museum open. And, Toby, you need to come down and see the dispatch console.
Okay.
That thing is so cool. It's like a 80-year-old console. It's a map of Meridian to Birmingham. And it's got little switches and lights on it. And that's how they controlled the train. So they could tell where the train was and flip the little switches and everything and make sure the trains didn't run into each other on the way.
I mean, that is amazing how they how they manage that, those trains, that freight, that speed, and the math that they used.
Yeah,
to when to
unreal.
flip those switches. So yeah, I haven't. So there's one that's like 80 years old down there.
Yeah, it was taken out of service, I believe, in the 1960s, and we ended up with it. And we've got most of it set up down there with little Christmas lights behind it. So, but you can walk up and flip the switches and everything. It's so cool.
That's really sharp.
but it's like a big monster contraption. It's like, two people sit behind it and flip all the switches.
And again, that's something that a lot of folks here in Meridian do not realize that we have. My grandfather came down from North Mississippi. He did 40 years on the railroad, the last 20 with the Frisco Railroad, and he so loved that museum down there. And he saw a lot of things that were in
really
service.
cool. We have people come from all over the country and stop by in down there, and they say that they've been to a lot of different railroad museums, and we've really got a cool one.
And
it's just really neat what we.
Jess was here earlier, and we were talking about trucking, and I missed getting back on the air because when somebody says trucking, I really get into it. But the old saying, "Keep on trucking by train." When you think about how the railroad changed this country,
Right.
And it literally changed the South, especially Mississippi, this area for sure. And just to know the history of that, and everything went where the railroad went. It was
Unreal.
long before interstates. It was like the blood vessels of the nation, and that's cool. I'll get down there, Zane. And man, I'm so happy that I got my circus peanut thing solved today.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We've identified it, and we can almost pronounce all the ingredients of it. And so, thanks, Rob.
Yeah, I'm glad you called. I was going to brag on Kathy Anderson during this segment. Do you know Kathy Anderson?
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, works down at the community center here in Meridian. Does several things around the community. Her son works for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you look up sweet, like when you look up sweet person in the dictionary, she's second of three. The first is a gingerbread man. The second is Kathy Anderson. The third is Marianne of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are the three that are listed. And,
wow.
And
she
she's
must have done something really good for you.
She actually did. She actually made me a shirt. I mentioned one time on here that the German word for history is Geschichte, and I thought a T-shirt that said Geschichte happens would be a great T-shirt, right? Right? And because I'm such a dork. And she actually found and made one for me.
I love it.
Like 4 months ago. Of course, I haven't gotten down there to get it. Complete loser, but she is so great, and she listens to the station, and when she can, and so I just didn't know if you knew her or not, because she's kind of a treasure of the community.
Yeah, I've heard of her. I've never met her, but I've heard of her. I know who she is and everything.
And she comes in front of Marianne. That's a big thing to come in front of Marianne.
That's pretty big. Yeah,
that's really big.
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm like, wow.
And we love it.
Well, maybe we can get you a bumper sticker like that made.
Hey,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you can distribute it to your students, and then I can get a real good plug next time you're on the radio.
There we go.
And to keep this marble bouncing down the stairs, Roger told me one time, he's like, having you on is like watching the steely ball bounce downstairs. I don't know where you're going to go with things. Do you know we lost Marianne to COVID? Did you know that?
I didn't know it was COVID, but I know we did lose her.
Yeah, I mean, she looked just like she did in the 60s. And, well, Kathy Anderson does too, but Marianne, very healthy, very active, and she got COVID and passed away.
Wow.
So just yet another reason to be upset about COVID. They killed Marianne off Gilligan's Island.
The China virus.
She survived tidal waves, natives, Gilligan's stupidity, and then COVID got her. That's right.
Yep. Just because somebody ate a bat next to the laboratory that has,
That's right. Somebody ate a bat.
Yep.
That's right. Pine tar and all.
Yep. That's it.
See, folks, this is the hard-hitting stuff you got.
On the front steps of the research institute that had SARS.
That's right.
Somebody just walked up there and ate a bat, and there we go.
That's right.
That's how it works. I love it.
Jeez.
All right. Well, Zay,
that ball bounces everywhere going down the steps.
It does. Hey, appreciate you checking in this morning, and we'll talk to you next week.
You guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care.
Appreciate that. There you go. And yeah, I did want to get that plug in for the Railroad Museum, because they are going to have Mrs. Santa down there tomorrow morning at 9, and tours down there. Railroad Museum in downtown. It's beautiful. Absolutely. I think you'll really enjoy that tomorrow morning.
Zane is an individual like
DK and Jesse.
Thank you, DK and Jesse. I was thinking of the Ole Miss player who now is in the NFL. Who plays for Seattle, right?
Come on, Joe.
And I was trying to remember. Yeah. But the experiences they've had, they're the perfect people that historians want to write down their experiences.
Absolutely.
That local history, and just jot it down, because so much of this is going to be lost.
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks to these little things here, folks don't write letters anymore. They don't really journal anymore, or anything like that. And that's the kind of stuff we're losing every day.
601-485-9191 is our number here, Mornings Meridian. Just noticed a few moments ago, we'll get to one of our sponsors here in just a moment. I did notice that obviously the House today is going to be voting, the expulsion of George Santos, which I know you probably got some opinions on that, but it has been noted here that the Speaker of the House has said that he will vote for the expulsion. So he's on board with that. So it looks like this is more than likely going to happen here today. Of course, Michael Guest from Mississippi is the one who introduced, I guess you would say, the proposal on the floor because he's on the Ethics Committee for the expulsion of Santos. And he did speak. He was on Fox News earlier this morning. I guess he's making his final pleas before before all this happens. But there's going to be a lot of debate on the floor coming up here shortly, and they'll have the vote probably later on today. So, but very interesting stuff using campaign funds in a lot of different slimy ways.
That's right. But he'll still receive the pension, won't he? He'll still get all the pension, all the insurance.
I believe so.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, not all is lost on his end. Just you're going to get probably the third person in history to be, I guess, expelled from the House because that hasn't happened since the Civil War, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right.
I think so. Yeah. So, but so a little bit more history being made today.
Happens every day.
All right, let's go to the phone line this morning. They're ringing up here on Fun Friday. Hey, caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hello.
He wanted to get that pension. That's why he got the Botox with the campaign money.
Right. He got a lot with that campaign money.
Yeah. Wanted more pension.
Yep. So they're going to vote to expel him. Yeah.
I've been hearing y'all do the things going on with the train station and the Christmas train and such. And
yes, sir.
It took me back in time. Usually when you go off the air, you say buy local. I had a project at one time on 49 south of Jackson. I think it's Harrisville or something like that. They had a customer that I met with that wanted to gift their church. At the time, I didn't know the gentleman that was writing the check was a VP with the World Bank living in Indonesia, Singapore, somewhere over there. But when I got there, they had Stuart Irby there with light meters, and I could tell they weren't, slack on doing the job properly or like they wanted it. And once some of the ladies came over this way to do some selecting, the one writing the check was on his way over here to meet them to have dinner at Weidman's.
Hey.
And on the way out the door, she volunteers, my husband is into trains big time. Isn't there some stuff over here? I said, well, yeah, right around the corner from Weidman's, the Railroad Museum.
Right.
So I just thought I'd mention that.
Great ambassador for Meridian.
There you go. Love it.
Do you know whether or not they went?
You mean after they ate dinner?
Right.
Down Front Street to the train museum.
Yes.
Probably back when Hobgood was involved with it.
Right.
Well, that's great.
It was some time ago.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and the thing also is people will tell Rob and I, well, I went there and we asked them how long ago, and it had been a while. And we're like, go back. They rotate stuff out. They got new stuff there. Absolutely.
Yeah, stuff. You got to have stuff.
All right.
And good stuff. Well, I told you, I think I mentioned this on the air before. My grandfather missed the train for basic training. And they heard it pulling out of Tupelo. So he pulled over a little place called City Point, near City Point. Doesn't exist anymore. It's a bean field now. But the tracks are still there. And he actually caught the train there by running alongside and jumping on. And he told us that story for years. Well, when we got down here to show him the museum, that type of car was there.
Wow.
And he showed me, and because you couldn't tell otherwise, he showed me where to reach underneath it and pull out where the bottom step would come out really far.
Come out, yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell it. He knew it because he had to use it. Well, the guy on the train pulled it out for him so he could jump on it.
Yeah.
And here he is, 90 years old, and he reenacts it for me.
Wow.
He runs and jumps on the steps, 90 years old. Man, I miss him.
My favorite train story here is an older man that worked for the one that ran out of Meridian through Newton and Vicksburg into Louisiana, and they would get off at Vicksburg, and he said, them kids, I guess back in the day, they didn't have anything to spray paint or smoke or something, but looking for entertainment. Said they got over to Newton and they had a mail hook out there where it'd catch some bag of mail and throw it in the car, and the kids put a goat on the mail hook, so it threw it all over that mail car.
Oh, mercy. Ooh.
The horror. Where's Pete? Where's Peter when you need him?
That's
I know, right?
Oh, the humanity.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
The horror. I love it.
I love it. I love a fun Friday. I really do. So 601-485-9191. We're going to take a break here on Mornings in Meridian. When we return, we'll go over some more of these Christmas events, and we'll tell you what, college football is going to get interesting this weekend.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So we'll take a break. We'll be back. Well, Casey Van Beek from the Tractors is 81 today. So he's on the birthday list. Also on the birthday list here, Bette Midler, one of your personal favorites. She's turning 78. I'd ask you when we were coming back in, I said, do you want me to play some Bette Midler?
Don't say what I said.
Exactly. But I went with the Tractors instead. So I think good choice there. Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe Kravitz, is 35 today. Of course, she's been in a few movies. Joining them on the birthday list here today, Woody Allen, having a birthday today. He's still around. He's 88. I still say stranger danger when it comes to Woody Allen.
I shudder to think what he would want. You know? Besides kids at his party.
I know, right?
Right?
From the comedy world, controversial Sarah Silverman is 53 today. Golfer Lee Trevino is 84. And the late comedian Richard Pryor.
Wow.
Would have been 83 today. Lost him in 05.
You know, he's one of those folks that, like Elvis, you cannot imagine old. You know? One of the nicest gifts I ever received was my brother actually bid on this. It was a original Blazing Saddles script.
Oh, wow.
That he wrote, you know, he wrote a lot.
He wrote a lot.
The original title for that movie was Black Bart. You know, because it was a send-up of, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, Richard, man, he was something else.
Absolutely.
And he's still so relevant.
Absolutely. Well, in tradition, birthdays, we have to let Joe Biden sing the birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alvin. Happy birthday to you.
So if you're celebrating a birthday today, he wished blah, 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 a birthday.
That's right.
I'm proud of him for being able to count down from 5.
That's true.
To 1.
For the tree?
For the tree.
Tree lighting, yeah. I mean, and
he made it.
Yeah, and you know, we could have had fun with that. Because he paused long enough, because he had to remember the number that came later, right? You notice how long he took between each number. And we could have moved those numbers around a little bit.
Exactly. We got a caller on the line before we get to that phone call. We need to thank one of our good neighbors right down the road. And folks, when it comes to insurance, sometimes that can be a tricky proposition. And if you need somebody to navigate that with you, that is our good buddy Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance Agency. And I got to brag on Jeffrey real quick because Jeffrey is community minded. He's involved in a lot of different community organizations. Of course, we visited with him not too long ago about Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a great organization, one of my favorites, Downtown Optimist Club. Jeffrey is hometown as it gets here in Meridian.
That's fantastic. It really is. Because, you know, insurance is like one of those things you just don't want to think about a lot. You don't really want to think about it until you need it, kind of like your spouse. But you have to have it, right?
Right.
And the fact that I recently went through a tornado with the house, and Jeffrey is with State Farm, and that's who I'm with.
Fantastic.
And for your agent to be there in the middle of something like that, to know your agent, like you said, to have them locally connected, they're there for you, makes a tremendous difference, folks. So yeah, you could save money by combining home and auto insurance under State Farm, but just first and foremost, having an agent, and when you call the number, you don't get the voicemail, you get the person.
Hello, this is so-and-so
That's
from this insurance company.
That's right. Or you get the, hello, my name is Steve. How can I help you today? You know? But no, I called, got my agent right off the bat. Jeffrey's the same way. So, folks, if you're not happy with your insurance, or if you simply just want to get an estimate of how much money you can possibly save, you cannot do any better than State Farm, and you cannot do any better than Jeffrey Wilson. Give them a call. Talk about how you can combine, like I said, your auto, your home. Also talk about other insurance as well, like personal liability. And there's insurances out there and policies that we had that our agent told us, Toby, it was great you had this, because everything you lost in the storm, we had to, we had a policy where they had to replace it to its very value of what it was worth. It was new. And he goes, a lot of people don't know about this. I didn't know I had that.
But you had it.
Yeah, I just remember telling my agent, if I lose something, I want to be able to replace it at the value of when it was brand new. And he actually helped me walk through that, and Jeffrey will do the same thing. And I think you'll find you're spending too much money right now in insurance. You can get the same kind of coverage for much less money, and you get Jeffrey Wilson, who, again, locally, community-minded, and he'll be somebody that you'll talk to from time to time, not just when there's a problem. So give him a call, all right? Jeffrey Wilson with State Farm. Give them a quick phone call, 601-483-8253. 601-483-8253. That is Jeffrey Wilson with State Farm.
Like a good neighbor. Love it. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Well, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Toby.
Ah.
I'm the spouse that Toby might not need.
Oh.
Hi, spouse. That's my wife.
I like how she said, hey, Rob, first.
Yeah, well.
Well, speaking of not needing something, I think Toby did mention at the beginning of the show, and as a side note, it is so great to be able to see y'all on Facebook because in North Mississippi, the signal doesn't carry this far up north, and it's wonderful to stay in touch with everything going on in Meridian. And Toby's down there, several days a week. I hear a lot about things going on, but we have a lot of friends there that I miss, and so it's great to see y'all on live streaming.
So what happened with the rib and the toe here?
Well,
I got to find out about this.
First of all, Rob, that's a sneaky way of her to do a shout out to Susan Jackson.
Absolutely.
And that's a sneaky way for her to say, I know where you are, Toby.
Exactly.
It's so tight sometimes, folks. It's so tight.
A couple of weeks ago, we were doing like a lot of couples do in bed, watching our
Whoa!
Hey, this is a family show.
We were watching what?
Yes, watching our phones.
Yes, watching our phone.
So Toby was showing me something on his phone. Well, he had on a white T-shirt, and our sheets are white. And so I was trying to get up out of the middle of a memory foam bed and put my elbow down, thinking I was putting my elbow down on the pillow. Actually put my elbow down on Toby's side, and I broke his rib.
Oh!
Now, first of all, I've lost 14 pounds, which I think I look pretty good. And
wow.
Well, you can't put perfume on a pig, but. That's again. Let me explain what Kathy's saying here. It's code for Toby's belly feels like a memory foam mattress.
Oh, wow! Evidently, right?
So Kathy drops this Hulk Hogan elbow on my rib, and she pushes off me, and she heard something go.
I did. I heard it, and I'm like, oh no! And Toby was. I guess it took his breath because he didn't say anything.
Oh, I was saying something all right in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then let's fast forward to the Saturday night. We're keeping our wonderful grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Kerrigan is 3 and Wesley is 1. And Kerrigan loves to sit on the piano bench with me, and we play the piano together. And so I thought I had pushed the piano bench back up underneath the piano.
I thought I had pushed, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not kill my wife and a waiter in California. Yeah, because when it's bedtime, I do what I hope all husbands do is you kind of walk the house. You make sure all the doors are locked, the outside lights are on, and I push the piano bench back under the piano because she always leaves it out. Well, at some point, she and our granddaughter had sat down to play the piano after that.
Right.
So in the middle of the night, I'm walking into the living room. It's about 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we'd lost that whole side of our house. So that whole side of our house is brand new.
Sure.
And Kathy, without asking me, by the way, put in this huge picture window. So one of our walls is just glass.
Just glass, okay.
But I love it. I love standing out in front of it and looking out.
Just be sure you got clothes on.
Well, I did. But the piano bench had somehow magically, almost, I guess, paranormal activity, had moved back out on my way. And the way I hit that thing with my foot, you think I was kicking a 50-yard field goal.
Wow.
So I broke my rib, although I didn't know it was broke for 2 days. She broke my rib that night, right? And the night before. Then that night, I broke my second toe on my left foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the doctor Monday, and I have a broken rib, number 10. 8 and 9 are separated. They're pushed apart. And I have a broken toe on my left foot. And I got to tell the doctor my wife did both.
I think Sheriff Solly is going to be getting in touch with the Sheriff's Department in Tupelo to, this is abuse. No,
I think so. But no, honestly, she's the reason I have these two. And they're weird breaks. I've never had a broken rib before.
Eesh.
It hurts because you have to breathe,
That was some elbow drop.
It was off the top rope. And she's like, Jerry Law or nothing. And, But no, she's felt terrible about it, and I've only mentioned it maybe 50 times.
Well, here's 51.
That's
here's
right.
51 right here. Yeah.
But no, it was funny because they do not wrap ribs anymore. And he just said, Toby, you're just going to have to, it takes about 6 weeks. Just, try not to be very active. Well, that's silly.
Well, I'm about to say, how you going to do that?
That's right, because I
Yeah.
bounce around like an overcaffeinated monkey anyway. So it was, we kept like you said, we kept the grandkids. Of course, I picked them up. I wasn't supposed to. But I'm so glad that you're calling in, Kathy, and not only shouting out to Susan, but letting everyone know the physical abuse that you're placed upon me.
Well, I do hate it. I do hate it very much.
Yeah, you sound like you do. It's tearing you up, isn't it, darling?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you later today.
Yeah, I haven't been home since Sunday.
Yeah. Well, she's seeing you right now, probably.
Are you seeing me right now?
Well, I'm on not while we're on the phone, but when I'm off the phone, I can see you on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm also wearing the. Well, let me take this off real quick. I'm also wearing the WALT Mornings in Meridian hat.
There it is.
Only $59.99.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, they're all at Roger's house. And since he doesn't take phone orders, you have to drive to his house. And he'll see you between 11 and midnight, and he'll get you one of these.
Between 11 and midnight.
No, I'm just teasing. Roger's been very good to Kathy and I. We owe him money.
Yeah. Oh, do you really?
But no, it's a it was. Kathy misses living down here a lot. We had a lot of friends down here, at least two.
Right.
And she also misses Bedford, nursing home.
Yeah.
And also she runs a nursing home now in Boonville, Mississippi, which is North Mississippi. So
fantastic.
Was there anything else besides this, Kathy? Thank you for helping us kill some time. Although we have other callers trying to get in.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for letting me call. So
Absolutely.
talk to you soon.
Good to talk to you. Absolutely.
You too, Rob.
All right, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Being married to her, are we off the air? Is she gone? Okay,
she's gone now.
Being married to her for 32 years, gives her the right, she thinks, to call in. Come on, there's a reason I stayed down here all week.
She said bye to me and not you.
I noticed that too. It said your name first. Well, you're good looking. If I would marry you,
man.
I give you a double look.
Oh, good Lord. You're killing me, Smalls. Let's go back to the phone line this morning here on Mornings Meridian on this fun Friday. Hey, caller, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
it's Ruth.
Hey, Miss Ruth, how are you?
I'm okay. Listen, please, I'd like to thank the Salvation Army. They team with the Canadian Pacific, Kansas City, that Holiday Express.
Miss Ruth, we're having a hard time hearing you this morning for some reason. I think
it's a little muffled.
It's a little muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. That is great. You're right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I said I'm calling. I really want to thank the Salvation Army people.
Yes.
They are the ones who team up. Every year with the Canadian Pacific, Kansas City, that Holiday Express that comes through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in three towns in Mississippi this time around. But anyway, they were there last Saturday singing carols and that kind of thing. So that people could donate to them. And I just want to say that this is a time of year when they come out and give their time and everything. And they were there last Saturday singing carols and also collecting donations, although you didn't have to pay to go on the Express.
Yeah.
And that other thing, number two, tomorrow. Tomorrow is First Saturday, and of course we always have something there at the Max. And what students can do, I think it's $1 up if you're way up to 17 years old, and it's free if you're under 9 or 10 or whatever. Where you can go and make the Grinch they have all of the characters
Mm-hmm.
in the Grinch story, and you can go there and make a wreath or do all kinds of things for your decoration at home. And they have the cookies. They have everybody has a punch in the cookies, and they also have the Santa, where you can talk to the Mrs. Santa, I think that starts maybe around 11, or maybe from 11 to 2, or something like that, or maybe 10 to 2. And then the peppermint pops in the evening.
Right.
The Santa and his elves are going to be there with the hot chocolate and everything. The peppermint pops, that's where we sing all of the Christmas carols and have lots and lots of fun, with the kids and everything. That's from 7 to 9.
7 to 9.
So bottom line is there's plenty going on tomorrow. No excuse to say there's not anything
Tomorrow,
going on. Meridian.
all day. That's right. From sun up to sundown.
Right, absolutely. And of course, we
Wonderful.
visited with the Toy Run folks this morning. They're helping out the Wesley House, and of course, we still haven't gotten official word yet on if they're still going to have the Meridian Christmas Parade. We should know that around lunchtime today if they're still going to go ahead
and
with
of
that.
course, tomorrow there's Mary Hope. I mean, Mrs. Santa is there with
Right.
chocolate. I mean, at Mary Hope tomorrow.
Sure.
And so again, it's from sun up to sundown. There's something to do, but hopefully we always keep in front of us while we're celebrating this holiday and giving thanks to those people who volunteer their time and try to live their Christian faith.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ms. Ruth.
Great
Appreciate
call.
that. 601-485-9191. Before we get to our next phone call, we need to thank our friends over at Ready to Roof.
That's right. That's exactly right. And from someone who, again, just got a brand new roof. Have I mentioned on the air the tornado that hit my house?
Yeah,
I can't.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. I wasn't sure if I'd done that right. Again, this is a company I wish was in North Mississippi. 573-1150. Now, folks, I know we don't think about a roof. A roof kind of goes in the same category as our car tires.
Yeah.
We don't really think about it, or windshield wipers, until we need them. But folks, it's going to save you so much money if you call 573-1150 and talk to Meridian's only Master Elite certified roofing company. Now, I know Master Elite certified doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but in the roofing business, that's a big deal. They just don't hand those out with a couple of cereal tops, and a couple of candy wrappers. To get that, you really have to be a company that, basically is on top of the industry with the latest, not only supplies, but the latest, in a roof, construction ways, because remember, neighborhoods quite often have these neighborhood authorities,
right?
And plus, cities have these codes you have to follow.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right. And Ready to Roof is on top of all of that. And so if you can't remember the last time you had your roof looked at, probably a good idea to call these folks. 573-1150, Ready to Roof. Have them come out and look. And I've heard from a lot of people who have done this, and they say, yeah, they've come out and they said, I'm fine. I thought they'd at least find something, like when you take your car to get your oil changed, and they come in and say, your air filter looks terrible, right? They expected something like that with a roof. And I'm like, no, they said the roof's fine for another 5-6 years. Just give them a call then. So, folks, take care of something that takes care of you every single day. We just don't think about it taking care of us, and that's your roof. 573-1150. They are great. Ready to Roof.
All right, let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, good morning. Okay, I hate it when that happens.
Kathy calling back.
Let's go to this phone line here. Hey, caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Happy Friday to you guys.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it short. Sadly to say is first I send my condolences out for all our Marines and the possible Navy who crashed in that death machine off of the Sea of China.
Yes.
But sadly, family won't be celebrating Christmas this year, and I don't know why. And I've called before, and I've just talked to the Office of Secretary of the Navy. I don't know why they won't ground that death machine. For the life of me, I just don't understand. It's like they keep experimenting with our men's and women's lives on that death machine. That's that Osprey. Please.
Yeah.
I know Washington listening in, but I wish they would ground it.
Yeah, this is the Osprey, folks, that takes off like a helicopter, then can rotate the props and fly like a prop plane. And we have had problems with this thing from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, and I'm just guessing, estimated, but it's at least 35 people have been killed in that death machine, and that's all it is. It's a death machine. I don't know where the money trigger is going, but it's somebody. It's got to be about some money for them not to ground that death machine. We don't. I mean, with all the machinery that we have in the Navy, we don't need that thing. We have the CH-53. We got the 46, the Chinook. We got enough stuff. We do not need that death machine. And I'm going to put a strong protest out, and y'all probably be seeing me doing something in the near future because this is ridiculous. It really is.
All right, my good man. Appreciate you checking in this morning.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too.
See, that's the kind of guy right there. I'll just tell you as an historian, that's the kind of guy right there that will get something done. You can hear it in his voice. He's not letting this go.
Absolutely.
He didn't know anybody that died, but he's sick of seeing where people are dying.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of man that'll get something done because he will not let it go.
All right, we got to take one more break here, get some more bills paid, and we'll be back to wrap up the show in just moments.
God bless him.
Well, like we always say, remember what this season is all about, folks.
That's right. That's right. You know, Rob, we get asked a lot why during Christmas time, and Ruth even alluded to this a few moments ago, people just seem to be nicer. They're thinking about something bigger than themselves. They're thinking about Christ, to be honest. And that's the Christmas magic, that people are just a little nicer and things seem a little better. Can you imagine if we applied that to the whole year?
Absolutely.
I mean, because as an historian, I'll tell you, there's evidence that Christ existed. He preached less than 3 years. He traveled less than 150 square miles. He changed the world for 2,000 years without an army. How is that not holy?
That's unbelievable.
Right?
Got about a minute left here. Need to thank our friends down at Purvis Business Machines before we break for the weekend. And tell you what, Jerry and Betty Purvis, Don Lucas, good folks down there.
The only people that do not like Purvis Business Machines are my students.
Right.
Well, they hate them, really. I mean, they take oaths against them, get tattoos with their names crossed out, because we have Purvis Business Machines on campus, and the exams they receive, the quizzes they receive, the instructions they receive, all come from these machines from Purvis. And again, these machines, folks, they sit over in the corner, they do what they're supposed to do. They're great, they're best employees, right? And Purvis stands behind them. And folks, so if you don't have a Purvis Business Machine, little label on your machine, on anything in your office, you're costing yourself a lot of money. So give them a call, see what they can do for you. 693-2679. 693-2679. Purvis Business Machines.
Well, folks, that's going to wrap up the show this week, or for today, rather. Toby, always good to see you.
Thank you, Rob, for letting me come in.
Folks, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Do be safe out there. Got a lot of rain moving in today and tomorrow. We'll have word on the Christmas parade in Meridian later on today as well. But stay safe out there. Glenn Beck is next, and we'll talk to you on Monday. And as we always say,
that's right.
Buy local.
That's right.